So we'll have our table of results. In the first column, we shall put our cation there. Then the second column we divided into two. So in the second column we shall mention here the solubility. Then here we shall have effect of resulting solution. So here, remember, we are dealing with the bases, and we have said bases are either metal oxides or metal hydroxide. So here the first part will be the solubility of metal oxides, solubility. Then here we shall put the solubility of the metal hydroxide. Then here the effect of the resulting solution, effect of the resulting solution of the oxide, then effect of the resulting hydroxide. So here we shall put our cations. From the procedure, we can be able to identify the cations that we are using. Remember, we said cations are positively charged ions. So our first one from the procedure will be potassium, so that our oxide is potassium oxide, the other oxide is potassium hydroxide, and the next one is sodium. So the oxide is sodium oxide, sodium hydroxide. The next one is magnesium. So we shall have magnesium oxide, magnesium hydroxide. Next is calcium. Same, calcium oxide, calcium hydroxide. We shall have aluminium. We shall have zinc. And lastly, we shall have copper. These are the cations that we are investigating, whether their bases are soluble in water or not. So now we are saying that these are the expected observations, that potassium oxide, when it's dissolved in water, the result will be, it's going to be soluble. So in our table, we are saying potassium oxide is soluble in water. The same applies to potassium hydroxide, is also going to be soluble in water. We come to sodium oxide, it's also soluble in water. Then sodium hydroxide is also soluble. We come to magnesium oxide and magnesium hydroxide. These two are slightly soluble. That means if you put magnesium hydroxide in water as well as magnesium oxide, part of it will dissolve. That's why we are saying it's slightly soluble. The same applies to calcium. Both calcium oxide and calcium hydroxide, it's also slightly soluble. Slightly soluble. Come to aluminium oxide and aluminium hydroxide. So we need to know that the oxide of aluminium and the hydroxide of aluminium, the two are insoluble in water. Therefore, our observation is it's insoluble. This one is also insoluble in water. It will not dissolve. The same applies to zinc. Zinc oxide is insoluble in water. as well as zinc hydroxide. Copper oxide, the same thing, is insoluble in water, as well as copper hydroxide. So we now look at the effect of the resulting solution on litmus. Remember we said you're using litmus, and litmus is either blue or red. So we are going to drop the 2 litmus papers in the resulting solution. For example, we have said potassium oxide is soluble in water. So we are saying you take the resulting solution and then you drop both blue and red litmus paper into that boiling tube containing the solution formed by potassium hydroxide dissolving in water. So this will be the expected observation, that the oxide of potassium will dissolve in water to produce a basic solution. And a basic solution, you know very well that it will turn red litmus paper to blue. So that's what we put in our table here, that the resulting solution turns, so it turns blue litmus, red litmus paper to blue. So that's why we are saying that the solution is going to be a basic solution. So we are saying that the oxide of potassium, when dissolved in water, the resulting solution will turn, red litmus paper to blue. The reason we have said is because that solution is a basic solution. The same applies to potassium hydroxide, that the hydroxide that will be formed if you test using litmus paper, the litmus paper will turn from red to blue, meaning the resulting solution is a basic solution. So the observation will be the same, that it turns red litmus paper to blue. That is potassium. The same applies to sodium, that sodium oxide, we have said it's already soluble. So the resulting solution is a basic solution, and that solution is called sodium hydroxide. So if you test sodium hydroxide using litmus paper, it will also turn from red to blue, because that solution is a basic solution. So the observation will be the same. So we are saying it turns red litmus paper to blue. The same applies to sodium hydroxide. The resulting solution will also turn red litmus paper to blue. We have said magnesium oxide as well as magnesium hydroxide is slightly soluble. That means part of the solution formed will be basic solution. It means if you test that solution using litmus paper, it will still turn, despite the fact that magnesium hydroxide is slightly soluble. So the observation will also be the same. So we are saying that the resulting solution will also turn red litmus paper to blue. Also here, the hydroxide will also turn red litmus paper to blue. We are saying because magnesium hydroxide as well as magnesium oxide is slightly soluble, so part of it will dissolve. The same applies to calcium. It will also form a basic solution, and that solution we expect it to turn red litmus paper to blue. So same observations, it will turn red litmus paper to blue. Also this one turns red litmus paper to blue. We're saying the reason is because there is formation of a basic solution. So here the basic solution formed is called calcium hydroxide. Here we form magnesium hydroxide, here we form sodium hydroxide, and then here we form potassium hydroxide. Now that these three are insoluble, then it means we shall not form any basic solution. As a result, the resulting solution will not have any effect on litmus paper because the solution is neither basic nor acidic, because of the fact that both aluminium oxide and aluminium hydroxide are insoluble. That means we shall not form any basic solution. Therefore, the effect of the resulting solution, there is no effect. So that will be the observation, that there is no effect of the resulting solution on litmus paper. The same applies here. No effect on litmus. No effect on litmus. The same applies to zinc because the oxide is insoluble as well as the hydroxide. Therefore, there is no basic solution, and for that reason, there is no effect on litmus. No effect on litmus. The same applies to copper. We can see from the table copper oxide is insoluble as well as copper hydroxide. Therefore, we shall not form any basic solution. So no effect on litmus. No effect on litmus. So learner, we can see that we have some oxides and some hydroxides which are soluble, others are insoluble. Those which are soluble, they form a basic